When you multiply exponents, there's two different rules that you can use. Or that you use. One is, we've already done this a little bit, but if you have a to the x times a to the y, so if you have two bases that are the same, you can add the exponents. So this is going to be a to the x plus y. Second rule involves if you have parentheses. So if you have a b to the x power, you need to exponentiate both sides, both things in here to the power of x. So this is going to be a to the x, b to the x. And if there's going to be an already exponent, so if you have the a to the x, b to the x, and you take it to the y power, you need to multiply these exponents. So this is going to turn into a to the xy times b to the xy. So practicing these, letter A. So I'm going to use the property where I have an exponent on the outside. So I'm going to exponentiate each thing in here. So this is going to be v to the 16th times w to the negative 4. I need to make sure I don't have negative exponents. So I'm going to answer this as v to the 16th in the numerator, and then I'm going to put w to the negative 4 in the denominator, because that has a negative exponent. I need to move it and lose it. So there's my answer. So always make sure you have positive exponents. And then letter B, I'm going to distribute the negative 6. So it's going to be x to the negative 6, y to the negative 6. Now I want to write with positive exponents. So I'm going to write x to the 6, y to the 6 in my denominator, and put a 1 in the numerator. Letter C, I need to exponentiate each thing to a power of 3. So this is going to be 2 to the 3rd times 10 to the negative 9. So I don't want to have, I'm going to leave it like this because this is scientific notation. So I'm just going to keep it in scientific notation. So this would actually be 2 cubed would be 8 times 10 to the negative 9. If this wasn't the number 10, or if it was a variable, I would not leave it as a negative exponent, but it's in scientific notation, so I'm going to leave it like that. And then letter D, if I distribute this 2 through, it's going to be 9 squared times 10 to the 14th power. So 9 squared is 81 times 10 to the 14th power. So I want to make sure that this is not written in scientific notation because this is 81. So I'm going to write it in scientific notation by doing 8.1 times 10. Now this power needs to change. This is 81 times 10 to the 14th, but I moved the decimal over, so I need to move it this way. So this is going to make this 8.1 times 10 to the 16th in order to move it over one more time. Or 16th, I don't know why I said 16th. 15th. Okay, then letter E, I need to make sure I do the second power to each thing in here, so it's 12 squared times b to the negative 4, because you're going to multiply those. So 12 squared is 144 over b to the 4th. And then letter F, I'm going to take each thing to the 0 power, so this is 3 to the 0, a to the 0, c to the 0, because I'm multiplying all of these, which this is all going to be 1. Or you could recognize from the onset that this was all exponentiated to the power of 0, so that's just 1 anyway. And then G, I'm going to take each thing to the negative 2 power. So there's two ways that you can do this. You can put this all in the denominator right off the bat, like this. 2g squared h cubed squared. Or you can distribute it, so it's going to be 2 to the negative 2, g to the negative 4, h to the negative 6, and then make it all positive exponents, so it's going to be 1 over 4, because that's 2 squared, that's going to go in the denominator. G to the 4th is going to go in the denominator. H to the 6th is going to go in the denominator. So that's my final answer. If I would have kept going right here, I would get 1 over 2 squared, which is 4, g to the 4th, h to the 6th. So same answer. So you could make this go to the denominator first, or you could distribute, it doesn't matter. So h, you got two things going on. This part is going to be m to the 10th. Remember, you're multiplying these exponents. Second part is going to be 3 to the 4th times n to the 12th times m to the negative 8. Now I'm going to put this all together, and 3 to the 4th is 81. If I multiply m to the 10th times m to the negative 8, I get m to the 2nd, because I'm going to add the exponents, and this is going to be n to the 12th. And then letter I, I'm going to exponentiate this, so this is x squared y to the negative 6 times x to the negative 4 y to the negative 2. Now I'm going to add the exponents together. So this is going to become x to the negative 2, and I'm going to add my y's, my like bases, y to the negative 8. I don't want to leave it with a negative exponent, so I'm going to write this as 1 over x squared y to the 8th.